Today we're doing a mock test with Jack. Jack, tell him where you're from.
London.
He's from London. He's got a test when?
Monday.
Monday, where's it at?
Northallerton.
So he's doing it with his mum in Northallerton, but he's doing a mock test with me just to see what it's like. And he wants me to make this mock test really hard with all the manoeuvres in, so he wants a really hard challenge, so hopefully it'll be a lot easier for him on Monday. Have you any questions before we start?
No.
Sure?
Yeah.
One question for you. Tell me how you switch your headlights to main beam.
So I turn my headlights initially onto dimmed beam, or so sort of dimmed, and then I would push the stalk back, and that would make it full beam, and a blue light would appear on the dashboard in front of me.
Good stuff. Good. Right, we're going to be out for 38 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic. We're going to take in various traffic and road conditions. One manoeuvre perhaps with your trainer, possibly the control stop, and you will be driving independently by way of standing on the signs. You understand that?
Sure.
Throughout the drive, just follow the road ahead.
Sure.
Right, any questions?
No.
Go on then now, just drive smoothly. And at the end of the road, turn left. Minor fault number one, Jack, you swing quite wide at this junction. Had there been a car arriving from your left, then and you caused that car to slow down and stop, then you could have been looking at a serious fault. The reason you've swung wide is you should have been following the curb round with your eyes. And at the end of the road, turn left. Jack, I don't mark this, but end of the road, you've got a junction before the end of the road, so really you shouldn't put the indicator on until you get level with that. You do signal a bit early. It looks worse in the video, so I don't mark this, but if a car comes to that junction and thinks you're turning and pulls out, then you could get wrong for that. So look for the timing of the signal. Minor fault number two, Jack, you should be looking in the mirrors, middle and right, to make sure it's safe to move out past this vehicle. End of the road, turn left. Good early observations at this junction. This junction opens up about a couple of car lengths back. Jack looks early and just drives straight out in second gear. Could you show me how you'd open and close your window? Jack records minor faults number 3 and 4 on this particular road. Jack, this is a national speed limit road, which means it's 60. You should be looking at about 40, 45 miles per hour. You're doing about 36. Could have been a different story had there been anybody overtaking you. And the next minor fault is for driving position. You're too close to the centre of the road. So you've got two driving positions. In a wide road, you keep a metre from the curb. In a narrow road, you keep to the middle of the lane. This is quite narrow, so you should be down the middle. Minor fault number 5, Jack. It's the timing of your mirror and signal when leaving the roundabout. If you look at the roundabout, you've only got left and right at the roundabout. So as soon as you get level with that first one, you should be looking in the mirror. If it's safe, which it should be, signalling, drift over to the left lane. What you do is you keep going round in the right lane. Now, people think you're going back round the roundabout and you're inviting people to come up the left-hand side of you. So as soon as you get level with the first exit, have a look at that dormer if it's safe, which it should be. I can't see anybody cutting you up there. Get the signal on, start drifting over to the left side of the road now. Minor fault number 6, Jack. You're too close to this white car in front. You need to keep at least a half a car length back just in case it breaks down, so you've left enough room to manoeuvre around it. Or it's on a hill, the car could roll back, and I've seen that happen before. So yeah, you need to keep tyres on tarmac. What driving instructors love to see it, tyres on tarmac. Also, you do leave the signal on for quite a while, but I don't mark it because it doesn't affect or confuzzle any other road user. But as soon as you leave the roundabout, you know it's not going to cancel, so get that signal cancelled. Have to give Jack some credit here. He's never driven on these roads before, and he realised that you don't give way at this roundabout. Now, a lot of learners would slow right down and give way, try to give way when you're not supposed to, and fail the driving test. But Jack shows good awareness and planning. Minor fault number 7, Jack. It goes from a 40 to a national speed limit at 60 mile per hour road, and you need to look in mirrors. Now, the reason you need to look in them mirrors is people like to start overtaking when it goes so fast the road. So think about it. If you start accelerating, somebody's overtaking, you're going to force them into oncoming traffic. So what you need is that mirrors to make sure it's safe to go faster, which you don't check, but you do get faster. You go up to about 48 miles per hour, 49, 50, which is good. But use the mirrors before accelerating. Minor fault number 8, Jack, goes down response to signs. Have a look at that sign. Come on, what are you doing here? It's got to be right, hasn't it? Third exit, so you should be middle right dormer. Get that signal on nice and early and get it over to just left the centre of that road. And then you'd see where you need to be from there. Now what you do is you go straight ahead. You do everything safely, just so you only record a minor fault. Now, had you cut across these lanes, I would have given you a serious fault. But you've gone the wrong way, it's safe, and I'll redirect you. So nothing wrong with that, apart from reading the signs. Turn right into KFC in this garage up here, the next second one, next one, and we'll just come back. So take the next road with the right. Minor fault number 9, Jack. I think you're a bit flustered with going the wrong way, but like I say, you've done nothing wrong. What happens is you leave it in third gear. You should have been in at least second gear and then just gone round. But you leave it in third. It's too high gear, and as you turn into the side road, the car cuts out and stalls, but it restarts itself when you put it in neutral. And then you get first gear and carry onward. Just go back out of here, just go straight in. Now be careful because these are wobbly. We're going to turn left out of here.
Sure. Sorry about that.
We're turning left. And then at the roundabout, turn left. Minor fault number 10, Jack. You're getting too close to the cars in front of you. Following the signs for the council offices.
Okay.
Jack, it looked like you were going to stop and give way to this car to your left. You do not give way to these cars on your left. I've had a couple fail over the years here. This roundabout, learners like to come to the roundabout and stop and give way to the left. Remember, you give way to the right. I think you just second guessing yourself here. You've done nothing wrong. Had you stopped, then you most definitely would have recorded a serious fault.
I can't go.
The roundabout turns up because it's got signposted. Can you pull up the convenient place on the left? You and drive on when you're ready. Jack, every time the examiner stops you at the side of the road, you're expected to apply the parking brake, select neutral and cancel signal. You don't, you just put it in first, look over your shoulder and go. You leave the signal on. I don't mark it because you don't leave it on very long, but I would apply parking brake, neutral, cancel signal and then listen to the examiner's instruction. At the roundabout, turn right, it's the third exit.
Bishop Auckland.
That's it. This roundabout's all good, Jack. The timing of the signal, the mirrors, speed on approach, taking the first available gap and timing of the mirrors and signal when leaving the roundabout. It's all wicked on this one, Jack. Well done. All good driving skills here, Jack. You realise you're on a dual carriageway, you made good progress, and when asked you to turn right, fourth exit, you realise you're on a dual carriageway and you take up the right lane. Speed on approach is good, timing of the gear. It's all good, Jack. Well done, you haven't committed a serious fault yet. At the roundabout, turn right, it's the fourth exit signpost and spinning. Jack, you've done nothing wrong by missing the exit, so we just go back round, but you've recorded your 10th minor fault. What happens is the signal comes back off as you go around and you forget to reapply it. Sometimes when you leave roundabout exits, it's not always signposted, so it's better just to count them. So when you go for your test on Monday, if you're taking the 3rd or 4th, 5th exit, just count them as you go around, because sometimes it's not always signposted. That one's number 1, leave one number 4.
Yeah, sure.
Jack shows good observations. He spots the mini roundabout. When you don't give instruction, learners just don't even see them and drive straight through them without looking to the right. At the roundabout, turn right. It's the 3rd exit. First serious fault for Jack. Jack, it's just a simple case of scanning and planning. If you look down the left-hand side of the road, there was a sign telling you on the left saying, look, straight ahead's no entry, so buses only. So you do realise very late, but it's use of mirrors. You should have been looking nice and early. React too late. You're probably starting to move over as you're looking. Could have been anybody there. For example, a motorbike or a cyclist. So first serious fault, Jack, use of mirrors.
Straight ahead. Can't cross that lane.
Jack, you spot this mini roundabout a little bit late, but you do look, so I don't mark it. The next roundabout, look, you merge out of the roundabout in second gear. Me, if I'm coming to these mini roundabouts and I can hardly see to the right, I would just do a roll in first, mate, and practically stop on the rise and brake if it's cleared and just go without stopping. Get away with it, but I've seen cars come very quickly from the right-hand side, and my pupils had to do nearly the emergency stop. Second exit. If you take the next road to the left into this car park, it was very tight, so be very careful.
Okay.
Turning left, then can you drive it forward and it will be of your choice.
Sure.
You can do it on the left or right hand side.
Drive forward into it.
Drive forward, please, left or right. you, and then if you could reverse it back out to the left.
That's back up the left, okay.
Minor fault number 11, Jack, you have to shunt it forwards and backwards to get into the bay. What happened is when you turn in, you just turn in a bit early. However, your observation is very, very impressive. You do look all around the car and look through the back window. That's what the driving exams are looking for. And will you behave with that parking brake? I've got a bad head. When you apply the parking brake, will you push the button in and then pull the lever up? You just wrench that lever up and it clicks all the time. And if you take the second right, that's the first one.
Sure.
And the next one. At the end of the road, turn right. Roundabout, turn right. That's the second exit. Serious fault number 2, Jack. Jack, you should have given way to this oncoming car. You do cause it to slow down. You had to give way. When you come off the roundabout, again, if you look down the left-hand side, you would have seen this sign. Then I don't think you would have gone into third gear because it was an oncoming car. I think you do realise, but you just realise a little bit too late. Minor fault number 12, Jack. What happens is you slow down, but you don't change down to match the gear to the speed of the car. I think you're a little bit flustered off that road karma measure just before, but you've got to realise you had the priority here and you could see the oncoming car was slowing down to stop. At the roundabout, turn right at that exit. Serious fault number 3, Jack. Oh. Jack, you've got to give way to your medial right. You've got 2 lanes to your right. You've got to give way to both lanes. You have a van coming around in the right lane. He could go around the roundabout. He could take the exit we want to leave at. We don't know, so you shouldn't go. you do pull out and the van comes our way and you slow the van down. So you should have just waited till the van got past you and then emerged onto the junction. Further forward. That'll do. Stop there. Right, this is your manoeuvre. I'd like to pull up alongside the car and reverse it back into a park position. Try to do within 2 car lengths, including your own time when you're ready. You. Just drive on when you're ready. Well done, Jack. That would be no false recorder, but there's a couple of things I need to mention. First one, you didn't put it in reverse. Now, had you reversed back into the space and with no reverse lights on, and there was cars and traffic about, well, you could be looking at a serious fault for that one. But you realised you put it in reverse. The second one was as you're coming in close to the curb, you've got to keep looking all around. Now, I did have a pupil fail a few years back. He was coming in nicely and there was a car came past the exam and said you should have stopped. Why I didn't mark this for was because we're in like a parking area place, but be very careful. Keep looking all around the car when you're doing this manoeuvre. Side of the road.
Sure.
Just pull in between the driveways.
Sure, yeah.
Right, can you back it up 2 cars and keep it close to the curb? That'll do, thank you. Drive on when you're ready. It's a pass, Jack, well done, but you need a bit more observation directly through the back window. All it takes is a pedestrian to cross the road from the opposite side or to come out one of these houses and come behind the car and you'd miss them and you'd be toast on the driving test. And take the next road to the right. The big sign is there.
This one here?
Yep. Just follow it around to the right. And then turn right at the end. And then we're going to reverse into one of those bays, okay?
Sure, okay.
Any one you want on the left. Jack, this is a serious fault because I had to duel you, but I feel as if it's half my fault because I've distracted you there. This wouldn't go like this. It wouldn't go down like this on the driving test because the exams are much more professional than this. What you've done is you've come to the junction. Although I've took your attention away from the junction, you should have been looking right, left before you pulled out. Now, I had to duel you, but you did go for the brakes, but they were at the same time. And when I do, it's last resort. So you still got to look right, left, right. So I'm going to take half the blame for this one. But like I say, we're just doing this for convenience. It wouldn't go down like this on the driving test. So I do apologise. Put in first, that's it. You got your clutch down?
Yep.
First gear one. Let's reverse. Is there anyone you want there? Look?
Sure.
That'll do, thank you. Minor fault number 13, Jack. It goes down for shunting the car forwards and backwards, control. But yeah, what I like about it is you just get straight on with it. Now, I've seen learners on test mess it up and then they just sit there and the exam's thinking, what you doing? Just get on with it, fix it. And that's exactly what you do. Good all-round observations, good speed. But you have to be, did you see the red car? You have to be wary of that red car. Had that red car been going left, then you would have had to stop to see if it was going to get past you or not. But yeah, overall, well done. Good stuff. At the roundabout, follow the road ahead. It's the second exit for Durham. Serious fault number 5, Jack. Putting it in reverse gear twice. If I'd let you go, you would have shot backwards. When I first met Jack, his bad habits were ragging the life out of the gears, and his footwork wasn't very pretty. He just reminded me of a butcher. But what happens is you work on the faults, get rid of them. But what happens is when a pupil gets nervous, the bad habits come back. And what happens with Jack is he's ragged it and shoved it into reverse gear. And it's quite hard to get into reverse gear. I've seen this loads of times before because Jack has been driving a different car. I think it's a Fiat 500, completely different car to the Mini. So I get where he's coming from with this, but that problem won't happen on your real driving test, Jack. But yeah, you should have just got to guide the gears. You're not driving a dumper truck. There's only one gear you're forced, and that's reverse.
It's reverse gear, that. It's the reverse.
I don't know how I ever do that. It actually requires quite a lot of force to do so.
6 serious fault for Jack. Jack, this is just your eyes. I've seen this serious fault loads of times before. In fact, I've had them fail on the driving test for the same thing. What happens is you're going on the roundabout, your eyes are in the wrong place. You should be looking towards the left curb to take the second exit. But what it is, you drift into the second lane from the left. With no mirror checks, you didn't have to do that. You just needed to keep left all the way around. Minor fault number 14, Jack, you know what you've done wrong. You've cut the corner. I did have a pupil, you're only about, 2 minutes away from the test centre now, minute and a half. Did have a pupil, he only had a couple of faults on his sheet and turned right here, but he turned right with all 4 wheels on this side, on the wrong side of the road, and the examiner gave him a serious fault. So it's very painful failing right at the end. You only commit a minor because you do realise and you start to stay about the left a bit, but you still cut the corner. Had there been a car coming from the right and you cause that car to slow down, then you get a serious fault. Just pull up on the left first. Just pull up here. Rest them delicate videos. Right, how do you think you've done them?
Absolutely dreadfully.
What? Why is that?
Well, because I can just tell when I've made a huge mistake, and that happened about 5 times. Oh God.
You use a lot from down south. They're very brutal. I get loads of pupils students from down south who failed the test 2 or 3 times, and they come up here and they cannot drive for toffee. The basic car control is rubbish. But this guy hasn't had any lessons with an instructor, have you? No. So he's just been with his mum, and it's a completely different car. But I did he's had a couple of lessons with me. And what did I see your faults were?
My faults were I was far too aggressive with the gear stick.
Yeah. Kills the gear lever. What else?
I sort of just slamming on the brakes, rapid acceleration, sort of jerky driving style.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to be a lot smoother. If he gets his basic control right, this guy will be really good, right? But unfortunately, not today. When learners get nervous, all the bad habits come back, and there's nothing you can do about it. Doesn't matter what you say, they'll just come back. So that's why it's very important you learners that you develop the basic skills early on in your driving lessons. How many serious faults?
5, 6.
6. You just remind me of Johnny. I think he had 7 or 8. I can't remember now. Right. We'll just go through your series, okay? Your first one, can you remember when we were driving down the road and you went up the right side, buses only?
Yeah, I identified it was buses only and I had to come back into the left.
But what should you do though? What should you check?
Left mirror.
There's no mirrors, is there? You just come back over the left, no mirrors. But when you go for a test on Monday, keep the car to the left at all times.
Sure.
Unless you're directed by signs and markings on it, or you're turning right on the examiner tells you to, yeah? Second one, I think you know this one. Meeting situation.
That I didn't give way to the
That's
to the people.
Yeah, you knew and all as soon as
I've never really done one of them before, and I
no. Right.
But I knew the minute I knew the minute it happened.
Yeah, you did. And you actually seen the sign. I thought you were going to stop, and then you changed your mind. Observation. I don't think you know this one. When we turned left at the roundabout, there was a white van coming round in the right lane. This particular roundabout here, and you shouldn't have gone. He was in the right lane, so you've got to give way to him.
Even if I was going left.
Even if you're going left, yeah, you've got to give way to him. That's a learner thing. Learners love to do that.
Actually, I reply exactly. I remember where it was.
Can you? Right, good. Well, this roundabout, where are you coming from? Where were you? Oh, there.
I think we were about. Yeah, he was coming around.
You were left. Yeah.
And he was coming around the inside.
Coming around the inside, wasn't it? Now he couldn't the same way as us. You slowed him down. But even if he wasn't coming the same way as us, I wouldn't have gone.
Okay.
Because he could come over, couldn't he? The other one was.
When you foot the
yeah. Can you explain that one to me?
Absolutely not. I think that was a sort of lapse concentration / sort of being a bit nervous and sort of thinking what's going on here.
I think what happened was you were too busy looking at the base, which you want to do.
Yeah.
And the reason I duelled you for is because that BMW, I think it was a BMW, was coming really fast.
Yeah.
So
the woman was fuming. She was absolutely fuming at me.
You are?
She was fuming at me, the woman in the car.
Yeah. So that's why I had to jail her, because she was coming quite fast. And the next one was lane discipline on a roundabout.
I know exactly which one that was. It was towards Durham, and I sort of swayed into one on the right as opposed to the far left extreme one.
Yeah, a lot of pupils do that.
I sort of shouted at myself as I went through the way into it.
I've had a few pupils fail there on the driving test. And the last one.
Going into reverse or something.
Yeah, how many times you going to totally about reverse?
Luckily, the one thing I will say, in the car I'm doing the testing, you have to lift up some sort of lever, which is my saving grace.
Look at that arm as weak as water, aren't it?
No, I know.
Look.
Again, I think it's just when I get nervous, I do my old habit of just sort of slamming the gear stick.
Right. Have you any questions before I turn it off?
No.
Well, that's going to be a lot harder than what you do for your driving test.
Yeah, hopefully.
But what you need to do is drive smoother. Go on, off you go on the radar.